guys, what's up? It's JR Cuber, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing the YJ MGC, which has been out for a few months now. This is a budget magnetic cube from YJ coming in at $15, making it one of the cheapest magnetic 3x3s out there. The only real competition this cube has in its price point is the Cyclone Boys Feiju, which is really not all that great. I have made a video on it if you want to check it out. So the MGC has a really smooth and crispy feel to it. It feels quite bubbly, but also very dense and heavy, even though it isn't a particularly heavy cube. Unfortunately, the cube is really not all that fast and is quite sluggish for me. There's just a lot of resistance when turning, which gives it a very dense, blocky feel. It definitely reminds me a whole lot of older blocky 3x3s, so in a sense, it's a bit nostalgic, but it also doesn't perform like the modern cubes that we're used to. The magnet strength is moderate. It's not the lightest or the strongest that I felt, but you can at least sort of notice it while turning, unlike the Feiju. Unfortunately, because the cube is a bit slower, I find the cube to be less stable than I would like due to the increased force that is needed to turn quickly. Stronger magnets might help to retain cube shape a bit better, but it would also make the cube slower, so I don't think it would really help. Corner cutting is just okay on the MGC. It can do 45 with a lot of force, but not much more than that, and reverse cuts are really snappy as well. I think the snappy corner cutting definitely contributes to the dense, blocky feel as well. Locking has also been a bit of a problem. I find it tricky to perform algorithms fluidly when the cube itself is really not all that fluid. I often find myself snagging in the middle of an alg or having the cube just flip out of my hands because the excessive force needed to push through a corner cut is just too much. My turn style on this cube is definitely very aggressive, but it kind of has to be when the cube is slower. Luckily, corner twisting is not a problem despite the rounded corners, and this is due to an internal mechanism rather than an external one. So that's a pretty nice segue to talk about the mechanism. The first thing you'll notice about it is that the cube has semi-transparent primary internals with black caps. Unfortunately, this cap design means that the cube does not come in stickerless, so if you absolutely have to have stickerless, then this cube is not for you. So taking a look at the corners, we can see that the base of the corner has these three protrusions sticking out that prevent the corner from twisting. However, I think it would have been better to just make the corner squared off, as these internal protrusions just add more friction that slows down the puzzle. A similar design was also implemented in the Gogwan Yuexiao Pro, and that cube was also really slow. I'm not sure though if that was just a coincidence or if it's due to some other factors. The rest of the corner design is also quite blocky with no visible tracks. The edge is also pretty blocky, but at least has one track. Due to the semi-transparency, you can also see where the magnets are placed on all of the pieces. So overall, the MGC is pretty much just okay. It's not going to compete with current flagships, which is kind of how it was marketed, but it is the best budget magnetic cube you can get. It's certainly better than cubes like the Feiju, but it's definitely not better than a Volk, a GAN RSM, or GTS2 or 3. However, there are no areas where this cube is awful, or for that matter, any areas where this cube is fantastic. It's just an all-around decent cube. But at the end of the day, I'm slower on this cube than on pretty much any other modern 3x3, so I won't be continuing to use it. But if you guys do want to check it out for yourself, I'll be sure to leave the link for this puzzle down in the description. Anyways, guys, that about does it for my review of the YJ MGC. Thanks, of course, to the Cubicle for sending me this cube for free to review, and also for sponsoring the video. If you guys like this video, make sure to hit that like button, turn on notifications, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.